You wake up in the middle of the night, your body completely frozen, unable to move a muscle. A heavy pressure crushes your chest, making it impossible to breathe, let alone scream. And then you see it. A dark, featureless figure lurking in the corner of your room, its presence radiating pure, primal fear. You've just met the Shadow Man, a terrifying visitor experienced by people all across the globe during the harrowing ordeal of sleep paralysis. But is this a demon, a ghost, or something else entirely? The strange thing is, no matter the culture, the country, or the personal beliefs, the descriptions are strikingly similar. A tall, dark humanoid silhouette, sometimes with a hat, sometimes with glowing red eyes, but always radiating an overwhelming sense of malevolence. From the old hag in Newfoundland folklore who sits on her victims' chests, to the kanashibari in Japan, which translates to the state of being bound with metal. Humanity has been trying to explain this chilling experience for centuries. But what if the explanation isn't supernatural? What if the Shadow Man isn't a visitor from another dimension, but a creation of our own minds? A phantom born from a fascinating and terrifying glitch in our sleep cycle. To understand this phenomenon, we need to dive into the intricate world of our brain's nightly reboot, the sleep cycle, and specifically, a stage known as REM sleep, or rapid eye movement sleep. REM is the stage where most of our vivid dreaming occurs. It's a period of intense brain activity, almost as if we were awake. To protect us from physically acting out our dreams like trying to fly off the bed or fight an imaginary dragon, our brain has a brilliant safety mechanism, releases neurotransmitters, specifically glycine and GABA, which effectively paralyze our voluntary muscles. This temporary paralysis is called REM atonia, and it's a completely normal and essential part of a healthy sleep cycle. You're not supposed to be aware of it. The problem arises when the timing gets messed up. Sleep paralysis happens when your mind wakes up before your body does. You become conscious and aware of your surroundings, but the REM atonia hasn't worn off yet. You are, for all intents and purposes, trapped inside your own immobile body. This is a profoundly terrifying experience on its own. Your conscious waking brain sends frantic signals to your limbs to move, to sit up, to escape, but nothing happens. The primal part of your brain, the amygdala, kicks into high gear, flooding your system with fear. Now here's where it gets even more interesting, and where the Shadow Man begins to take form. Because you've woken up directly from a dream state, the boundary between the dream world and reality becomes incredibly blurry. This transitional state is known as a hypnagogic or hypnopompic hallucination. Hypnagogic refers to the state just as you're falling asleep, and hypnopompic is just as you're waking up. During sleep paralysis, your mind is still partially in the dream-filled REM stage, so you don't just feel paralyzed. You begin to see, hear, and feel things that aren't really there. Your brain is trying to make sense of the conflicting signals it's receiving, the alert state of consciousness versus the physical paralysis of the body. The amygdala is screaming danger, but there's no visible threat. So, your brain does what it does best. It creates one. It projects your internal state of terror outward, personifying it into a physical form. And what is the most basic, primal representation of a threat in the dark? A shadow. Think about it from your brain's perspective. It detects a presence, feels a sense of dread. It can't identify the source. The logical leap is to create a vague, humanoid figure out of the low light and shadows that are already in your room. This is powered by a part of our brain called the fusiform gyrus, which is hardwired to recognize faces and human-like forms in ambiguous patterns. It's the same reason we see faces in clouds or patterns on a textured wall. During sleep paralysis, this system goes into overdrive. It takes the limited visual information from your dimly lit room, combines it with the intense fear you're feeling, and constructs the image of a menacing humanoid figure. The figure is dark and featureless because your brain is filling in the blanks. It doesn't have detailed information, so it creates the most basic, threatening shape it can conjure: a silhouette, a shadow. But what about the feeling of being crushed or suffocated? This too has a clear neurological basis. During REM sleep, our breathing becomes shallow and irregular. When you suddenly become conscious during sleep paralysis, your waking brain notices this shallow breathing. Combined with the paralysis of your chest muscles, it interprets this as an external force pressing down on you, suffocating you. Your brain then weaves this sensation into the hallucination. The Shadow Man isn't just watching you, he's now on top of you, crushing the air from your lungs. the experience becomes a multisensory nightmare, all generated internally. The sounds often associated with sleep paralysis whispers, footsteps, humming, or roaring noises can also be explained by this hallucinatory state. Your brain can misinterpret ambient background noises, or even create auditory hallucinations from scratch. This is why the experience feels so intensely real. It's not just a bad dream, it's a waking nightmare where your own brain is using every tool at its disposal to convince you that you're in mortal danger. The universality of the shadow man figure across cultures is a testament to how similarly our brains are wired. We all share the same basic fear responses and the same neurological mechanisms for sleep. Before we had the language of neuroscience, people used the language of folklore and mythology to explain this terrifying phenomenon. They didn't know about rematonia or hypnagogic hallucinations, so they attributed the experience to demons, witches, or evil spirits. These cultural stories, in turn, can shape the specific details of the hallucination. If you grew up hearing stories of an old hag, your brain might be more likely to hallucinate a figure that fits that description. The cultural narrative provides a template for the brain's fear-fueled creativity, but at its core, the archetype remains the same: a dark, malevolent presence that paralyzes and terrorizes its victims in their beds. It's a biological glitch, a momentary short circuit in the complex machinery of sleep. So, the next time you hear a story about a dark entity visiting someone in the night, remember the intricate dance of neurons and neurotransmitters in our brains. The demons aren't coming from the outside. They are phantoms projected from within. The Shadow Man is not a supernatural entity, but a powerful and frightening manifestation of our own neuroscience. A dark mirror reflecting the primal fear that lies dormant within us all, waiting for the right moment to emerge from the shadows of our own minds. If you found this exploration into the mind's dark corners fascinating, be sure to subscribe to Infinitonial for more deep dives into the mysteries of our universe.